I'm Mark Wilkins.
I'm Nick Bean.
Jesse Smith.
Austin Smith. And we're the owners of Yesterday's Fits.
That's right.
These are brothers. Yes, sir.
That's right.
The house that we are in right now belongs to these gentlemen. My brothers, man. I love these dudes to death. I can't say enough good things about them, man. They real solid dudes. And I had to have them on the show because their story is crazy, bro. The story of, you know, where they came from. Like, they really, when people say they got it out the mud, they really got this shit out the mud. And we wanna we just wanna let them share their story, man. So one of y'all kick it off.
All right, so I was 6 and Austin was 4. And long story short, Mom taught us how to sell on eBay. And that's kind of where it really, really took off. With
Shout out to
reselling.
Mom.
Yeah, we didn't even really understand what reselling was or the value of money or anything like that at all yet. But we moved out here from Illinois. I was born in Florida. He was born in California. We were in Illinois all in a matter of like 5 years.
Wow.
And when we moved out here, my dad was promised a job, didn't get it right away. Mom couldn't pick up a job right away either, but we did have stuff. Like my mom was super into fashion when she was in college.
Yeah.
And so she was working at a little college bar, would make all of the money and then go buy like crazy like Polo, Tommy, Guess, all the stuff we're selling, to be honest.
Yeah.
And she had that.
Yeah.
A lot of sweaters, like knit sweaters, wool sweaters, like super heavy duty stuff that we didn't really need. Because we're in the middle of the desert now.
Yeah, right.
Vegas.
She started selling those on eBay, and my dad picked up a job, but my mom needed help. We were at home with her, whatever. She was trying to take care of us. I was just starting school, and so she taught us how to sell on eBay, how to take the pictures, how to come up with listing titles and stuff like that.
To the point where that was our allowance.
Yep.
We didn't get an allowance. We still had to do our chores, but we got paid by listing on eBay for
and really helping out, because like now that we look at it, we understand like that's what was paying the bills.
Right.
Like my dad had a job, but the job was like
we all put in the work.
feeding us. You know what I'm saying?
It was
And,
the stability.
Like, if we wanted to do anything or literally anything, we had to do it that way. We had to help my parents make the money.
Yeah, so that's how y'all got into Yesterday's Fits,
Exactly.
the vintage, the finer
Yeah.
stuff, going hunting for.
Exactly.
I like to call it hunting because it's a real thing. Like
It
it's
is,
a
man.
Oh, yeah.
it's a whole culture around it. Like even the people that's family with them around this store, it's like, man, they hunters, bro. They find some of the best shit ever. Like
Literally, like the stuff that we've pulled out of garages and thrift stores and
Yard sales,
yard
flea
sale-
markets.
like
it's unbelievable, bro.
insane, like
Yeah.
literally insane.
Give a couple of examples. Just of
Like things you
other
found, like some
found.
wild shit,
He's
bro.
got the craziest thing.
All
No, I can go with the Yeezys. Like,
right, so start off. There's a flea market called Broad Acres, and it's up on Pecos in Vegas. And we were walking around. We go there every weekend. We're walking around trying to find some stuff, and we're walk past this dude's booth, and he has these Nikes sitting on the ender of his table in a display case. And we're just sitting there like, I'm like, yo, like those are something.
mind you, this was 6 years ago.
So I'm not gonna say what it
7
was
years
yet
ago.
until the end, but we're sitting there like we don't know what's going on, like this can't be real type thing. I walk past. I'm the shoe head, so I walk past it. I'm like, nah, this can't be real. He goes, yo, isn't that exactly? And I'm like, yeah, bro, like
I'm
that's
sitting
what
there
I'm thinking of
staring at
it.
it.
And we're looking them up, and I start looking up, and because out of my mind, I don't believe we can find. It was a Yeezy Platinum, the Nike 2. So
Chilling.
we're
man.
sitting
What
there.
size was it?
13.
Oh damn.
And we're sitting there talking to the guy, and we're like, what do you want for him? He goes, $60. And we're sitting there like,
Me.
$60. He goes,
I look at him.
he
I
goes,
say,
40.
"You want 40, right?"
He goes, all right, cool.
whatever.
That's a
It came with the shoes, the box, the laces, the dust bag. It just had no insoles and no lace locks to aglets. That was it. So
These is legit Yeezy twos.
So instantly, first thing that goes through my head, I'm like, yo, these aren't real. We bought them for $40 anyways, but we're like, screw it. If they turn out to be fake,
Because we
it's
Whatever.
worth a shot.
Yeah,
we kept
That is
going back
worth
and
the
forth.
shot. That's the gamble.
Yeah, we
Right.
kept
So
going
that was
back
your
and
thought.
forth.
Like if they turn
Yeah,
out the fake,
it's a
fake,
gamble.
Yeah, man, that's a
$40.
But if it's
crap
real,
shoot.
that's
Yeah,
a $2,000 shoe.
Right.
So it took me a week of them being on eBay for them to sell for $2,400, and I was on the bus on my way to my volleyball game when when I got the notification from eBay and payment received.
$40 to 2,800.
2400.
2,400.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Within
$40
less
to
than a
20.
week.
That's crazy.
Yeah, bro.
What a flip.
And like the craziest part about that too is we even found like one booth over this crazy box of like collectible Legos that we ended up getting like $1,200 for also.
What?
Like literally same day, I was like, all right, you can have the Yeezys, give me the Legos if we're gonna do this game. And
Wow.
he came out on top, but it was just like I think I bought the Legos for like $25 for the whole box.
That's still a flip.
Yeah, and it was just like
crazy flip.
there's so much shit out there. That's basically like what we're getting at. Like the hunt.
Yeah.
As long as you're willing to put yourself
it's
out
a
there
real
and look,
hunt.
No,
it's out there.
it's a real hunt. You gotta treat it that way too, because if you don't, you gotta be consistent, man. Like he was just telling me, you gotta be consistent, bro.
Yeah.
You gotta if you be consistent with it, it'll pay off. Like
Oh,
you
for
can't
sure.
you can't just be like, I'm gonna go looking for vintage this week and think
yeah.
that's it. Like the dude that
not-
just sold some shit, I bet you he going to look for some
Every
more
day,
shit
he
right now.
literally
now.
left to go.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, you will not find anything of importance or value to it.
Yeah.
But it's that
You
10th
will.
time.
It's that 10th time though is when it makes it up for all the other times you failed.
Right.
Wow.
So and the times you didn't find nothing, you got to be. I mean, it's a struggle when you go out and you go to 6-7 different stores in a single day and you don't find a single
There
thing.
goes a
Yeah.
tank of gas.
You're just like, yo, like I
Yeah.
just wasted my entire day. I wasted all the gas, the food, everything. I wasted my time today.
yeah, you
Yeah.
But
card
then
that
the
all day
next
for it.
day is when you find a $300 piece for $5.
Oh, it makes up
and
for
you're just
it.
sitting there
Oh,
like,
for
okay,
sure.
so
Boom.
yesterday was a bust, but today was good.
Yeah.
So
Alright, cool.
I'm the backtrack guy.
Okay.
I always like to
No,
go
you good.
backtrack. So all right, so we're sitting in the second location that
Yes,
you guys
correct.
have owned for Yesterday Fits, right?
Correct.
All right, so let's go backwards and let's talk about how you pulled the trigger to get the spot, the first
This is what
spot.
I was telling you about earlier. I actually was going through some stuff at home. I had already moved out. Was living with my girl. He actually moved into my house. My cousin actually moved into my house, and they're just like a ton.
Mind you,
a
it's not
ton-
a house, it's an
That's
apartment.
an apartment.
We got a 2-bedroom
A 2-bedroom
apartment. We got
apartment.
multiple people.
Making it happen.
Right.
Oh, God.
And so I just went through some stuff with my relationship. I was butting heads with him and my cousin because we're all about the same age, and things just changed. They were super, super like even just mentally, and like nothing terrible happened, but just mentally draining.
Yeah.
And started talking to my girl again. We're hanging out or whatever, and I was actually just driving down Eastern, just randomly. I think we went to a pizza place or something down there, and we had done a couple pop-ups at the UN and at Capitol, and they went really, really well. And so in the back of my head, it was always like, oh, we could open a store. We don't have to. Like, we don't really have the money, but we could. And my dumb ass, we were just driving down the street, and I saw this spot that said for lease.
Right.
And I was like,
Mind you this, he didn't give me a call until after.
right. So I'm like, oh, we were killing time. I was like, let me call the leasing office to see if they can meet. Sure enough, the real estate agent was there in like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So I'm in there, I'm looking at it is a piece of garbage. Like now that I look back at it, like compared to what we
Alright,
have
so
now.
you know, like the 80s and 90s when they thought it was a good idea to put green carpet and everything.
Yeah.
That was the kind of vibe we had. It was green carpet. There was
Ew.
Holes
there was
in
a
the wall.
hole in the wall that a homeless man literally dug through the wall
Oh my god.
because he thought there was AC.
I
because we
remember
had the
those
lights
pictures,
wet,
bro.
but it was
They showed me those
legit. It
pictures,
was
y'all. That
holes
shit
in the wall.
crazy.
Like
Shit's
we cannot,
wild, bro.
We're
I
not
saw the pictures.
exaggerating.
Crazy.
Like, it is
Nah, no
beat.
lie,
The
no
place
lie.
was beat.
But I'm looking in there and I got the biggest grin on my face and I'm like, this is it.
Yep.
This is it.
This is
And I
it.
heard the number and the real estate agent was like, they're negotiable, and that was even better for me, like being a negotiator. and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
So
that's what the fuck you do.
I gave a call and I was like, you think they would take this offer or whatever? And I called and they took it.
Wow.
And so I call him and I'm like, bro, I just got us a spot. And he's like, what the hell are you talking about?
I was like, yeah, no way. Like,
I was
there's
like,
no way.
we're gonna open a store, and it just literally happened. Like I think we got the keys like on April 4th or something like that, and we were open within a month. Like the
Wow.
longest thing that took was like our business licenses and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but it happened really quickly. Like I was calling up everybody in town that I knew. Like, hey, I need to buy stuff. I need to buy stuff. I need to buy stuff. And then I think the day we opened on May 17th of 2017, and the day we opened, we had negative bank accounts.
Oh,
Yep.
always.
We owed my parents a little bit of money from helping us do the build out because we literally wouldn't have had racks or display
Yeah.
cases without them. And then we were just so happy. You know what I'm saying? Like the
Dude,
fact
this
that
our first shit.
like we just dumped out our closets. I think we had like 15 pairs of shoes and like maybe a little bit.
We opened with 13 pairs of shoes and 500 and something pieces of clothing.
Yeah.
Wow.
But like literally, I was buying off of like all of my homies. Like I was just like, hey, I got $120. What can I buy? Like, and this was like I was working a graveyard job. He was still working a graveyard job, and we were open.
This was the mindset was quantity over quality at the time. We just wanted a variety of everything. So when you walked in the front door, there was no way you were leaving without finding something that you liked. Something that related you to your childhood, someone related to you, to your friends, family, something like that.
Right.
But
That's smart.
Yeah, but that was like all within a month. Like I said, I got the keys April 4th, and then May 17th, so a month and a couple weeks.
Wow.
No,
Yeah.
y'all do a lot of buying and trading, but what's the biggest thing or like best thing you ever got like to come across the counter for like the cheapest price that somebody brought into the store?
that's a hard one.
Let me see.
I mean,
like we've had like a bunch of like $200 or $300 vintage tees that we've come up on for $30-$40 or whatever.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't feel right doing that, but it happens. But when it's their
that's
price,
part
it
of the
happens.
game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. I would say probably the best piece though. I was actually out of town, and it came in when he was there, or it didn't even come in. The kid was just telling him about it. It was this 1993 polo jacket. A hoodie with the stadium stuff all over it, or not? It was the sailing stuff all over it, not the stadium. But he texted me, "Hey, some kid's got a polo jacket. He's gonna be bringing it in." I was like, "Cool." I didn't really think anything of it.
Right.
But then I show up. I come back from vacation.
He didn't know my excitement through the phone.
Right. This kid, I'm just like thinking it's a normal buy, but this kid just brings in this backpack, opens it up, and I see this polo jacket. I'm like, "This is like a $1,500 jacket."
Wow.
And I asked the kid, I'm like, "Oh, how much do you want for it?" Expecting $400 or $500, whatever. There was a couple little flaws on it. And he said $40. And I'm sitting there and I'm looking at him. I'm like, hold on. And I went back to the back and I started looking at him. I'm like, did he just say $40? And he was like, yeah, bro, blah, blah. So I go out there, like, I'm going to keep it for myself. I still have it to this day, 2 years later. But
that's good.
I tell the kid straight up, I'm like, bro, this is like, with these flaws, still a $1,000 jacket. And his mom is with him and they're like, oh my God, they start going crazy or whatever. And I was like, I'd like to give you a little bit more. Like, I don't want to just give you $40. Like, that's going to eat me alive.
Right.
And so the kid was like, just give me $100. He was like, you're going to keep it, right? I was like, hell yeah, I'm going to keep it. And he was like, cool, just give me $100. He's like, I bought it for $4. So,
wow.
yeah.
What the hell?
So that was probably like the piece. Like, I mean, like I said, we've had tons of pieces come in. But like,
me, I'm a sneakerhead, so I got in. So when it comes down to shoes, we have a clothing and no shoe. My man right here actually has touched them up before. I got the pair of Blink Yeezys.
Ooh.
I picked them up for $300.
Yeah,
Dude brought them in. There was a little bit of soul separation, nothing much. But my man right here brought them back to life.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
I can wear them
I put a
now.
little sauce on them.
I can wear them now. That's the important part.
Yeah, they in a great
But,
shape,
I mean,
bro.
they hit me for like $2,000 right now.
That's
Picked them up for
crazy, man.
It's
$300.
probably like one of my favorite shoes.
That shoe will never leave the collection.
But we've had a few times like that. Like I said, I mean, most of the stuff on the wall, like, I'm not gonna buy it unless I know I can make money off of it. You know what I'm
100%,
saying?
yeah.
So like,
because that's the
it's-
business.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
My next question for y'all too, like, so, you know, crazy following on Instagram, growing by the day, right? 2 venues in. What do you see Yesterday's Fits brand in the next, like, you know, year? Like, what's the plans for Yesterday's Fits down the road, or have you got that far?
We opening
It's-
up a London location.
which
no, I think
Someday we'll be there someday.
we signed a 3-year lease for this spot, and so with the game changing the way it literally does on a daily basis, like, we don't know if vintage is going to be popular tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? I think streetwear will always be popular as
100%.
long as we
You
adjust.
just gotta keep up with trends.
whatever the trend is, as
things
long as we
changes.
adjust.
And
Like,
I think that's the beauty of it, though, because
Exactly.
you control. Nobody's controlling you. You controlling what you
exactly.
buy.
So I pride myself, and I know he does as well, as being able to predict the future a little bit when it comes to popular clothing and stuff like that.
Right.
and I think that's why we've been able to succeed so well, is because of us being able to have what we need for when it hits.
Yeah.
Like I remember like 3 or 4 years ago when Harley tees really took
When
off.
Kanye started wearing them.
Exactly.
And Travis was wearing them.
I was on eBay every single day, like buying up as many as I could.
We were buying bulk.
Like, I knew-
it'd be
'cause I knew it was gonna happen.
20 Harley T lots.
That's
$50
crazy.
And then at the time when it hit, that 20 shirt lot you spent $50 on, you could turn that whole lot into $200-$300.
We were selling
If you
for-
played it smart.
Yeah,
Yeah.
$30-$40 a piece.
Word.
But not to get off too much on your question, but like basically like I want to really solidify ourselves as like the #1 store in Vegas when it comes to like resale streetwear, vintage stuff like that. Like we do have some competition and some pretty strong competition, but I think like we can really set ourselves with this new location, with the way we're running our website. We're starting up a YouTube,
With
like
the help,
social media would be through you guys. You know what I'm saying? No, like
Yeah.
seriously, like I think we really just want to focus on this spot, but keep our minds open to what's next. You know what I'm
Sure.
saying?
Fact.
Like, because seeing like how much we grew in 2 years at the other spot, I could not have imagined this in 2 years.
It's crazy because a year can go by and you can be in a completely different place you never thought you'd be in. I mean, we went from literally like we were backtracking a little bit when we were saying we were all living in his apartment. Like I was sleeping on the couch. Literally there was
3 years ago.
there was bins stacked up next to me. So like because I roll when I sleep, being honest, like, and I would like almost roll off the couch and that bin would keep me up.
Yeah.
Like the bins were like they were jam packed in the living room full of
That's
stuff.
crazy.
And it's just like it's insane. It's next year we could be completely different.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what this next year brings us.
But I think just like being open-minded to anything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like when Mark hit us with the idea for you guys to do the podcast here, like that was a no-brainer for us. You know what I'm
Appreciate
saying?
that,
Yeah, no problem. Like you guys are helping us out. But like I would have never thought that was going to happen a month ago.
Right.
I
know what
never
I'm
thought
saying?
we were
Like-
gonna be in here. Like
But like even when you guys are gonna have Malik come in, like I would have never thought that. Or like I
Right.
like even when we have like NBA and NFL players shopping with us, like we're huge into sports, so like even having guys like that or any kind of celebrity shopping with us, like we never know what's gonna happen.
Right.
Yeah.
And so like just
The
keeping,
future is bright, man.
Exactly.
The
And I appreciate
future is
that.
Definitely future's
Yeah,
bright.
yeah, most definitely. So, just a question for the fans and your followers, listeners, or watching, however you're doing this. Like, give me, both of you,
okay.
top 5 sneakers of all time.
Ooh wee.
Oh
Any brand, any order.
Pressure
If
on.
you got them or if you don't, 5.
Emphasis on the not in any order.
Any.
Let that rock. Like that'll be
Because
yeah,
I
that'd be
can't.
hard.
I don't have a number 1 or a
Put-
number 2.
Not in any order.
Any. No,
Not
just
in any
name
order.
5.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not in any
Alright.
order.
You can go first. Cause you're gonna laugh at one of mine, so I'm gonna keep that.
All right. So out of order, it's definitely the Sean Witherspoons, the 97s.
You
Word.
bastard.
The Chicago Off Whites, definitely they're up there. Shoot, that's a hard one.
That's 2.
I know.
You got 3 more. You might as well start
stuck, like,
looking
I'm
around.
stuck. Everything is stuck. I would say Eminem 4s, but
I mean-
I don't know when those will come across.
No, whether
come
you got
across
them
them
or
sooner or
not.
later.
But yeah, that's that's 3.
Dream Shoe is a Paris SB.
Okay, 4.
Shoot. Probably the Louis Kanye's would be up there.
Yeah, okay. That's a couple of them, but that's a good. That's a
Yeah.
good. 5.
Yeah,
That's
generalized.
just saying they're all
That's a good
together.
5. That's a good 5. What about
All right,
you? Though?
so I love like all the animal pack stuff, like all the Atmos. Like I like
packs,
wearing
Yeah,
like
Atmos is heavy.
Safari pack. Like I love wearing all that kind of stuff, like weird
Fire, bro.
textures and stuff like
Fire,
that.
bro.
Sean Witherspoon's.
Yep.
That's my all-time favorite shoe. Like I remember the first time I saw that shoe, I was
knew it.
like, because a lot of people were talking shit about them, like with the
Of
colors
course,
and
of
stuff
course,
like that.
Of course, that's how they
Like
do with
just,
everything.
just hating and like I specifically remember
Hating that he won the way
Exactly.
he did, but still.
and I specifically remember like I wanted those shoes to beat them up,
Mhm.
and like I have them on right now, and they are dusty, but I love them. Like they're
Yeah.
starting
Still
to
look
fray and
great, bro.
everything.
Still look dope.
Yeah.
And so that's probably those
That's 2.
Chicago's.
3.
I want an 85 pair though. We were talking about that.
Yeah.
Like the rest of them they're
I
cool
think,
to me.
I think
but, like,
I do too.
Like the vintage
I mean, I
side
need
of
an
me,
85 too.
like that's the pair I'm gonna get. Like I don't really the other pair. That was 3.
3. 2 more.
I like Vans, bro. Like I
nothing wrong
like.
with that.
Oh no, you gotta throw your silver bullets.
That was my last shoe.
gotta
I have gone through
That's like
6 pairs
seven-
of silver bullets.
If y'all,
Seven
if
pairs.
y'all
pairs of
don't
silver
know,
bullets.
if y'all don't know Jesse, bro, he's like. You remember how Doug used to wear like the green sweater with the
This man-
with the
Signature look?
Yeah, his signature shoe. Like I've only seen him in other shoes, and I've like see him.
This
a couple
man
times
will wear
already.
a silver bullet
Silver
with
bullets is
any
his shoes.
outfit.
Yeah.
Nike. If
It
y'all
doesn't
watching
matter.
this, send
It
him
does
a couple
not
pair.
matter.
The 95s? I mean, the 97s.
Send him a couple pair of those. DS. 'cause, I mean,
Yeah.
he wearing better than
No,
anybody.
like
though.
seriously,
7 pairs in the last 2 years.
That explains why you like the Witherspoons. though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every time a pair comes in and they're my
That's
size,
cleaner than his
Swapping
pair.
it
He
out.
swaps
Like, I
them.
don't even,
so
like-
like if you ever see them, they're probably his like swapped
Swapped out.
They won't
like, he'll
let-
take
they
the
won't
better
last
condition
long,
one every
man.
time.
They
But no,
won't last
I
long.
love that shoe just because like
It's a dope
it
shoe.
matches with everything,
It
though,
is.
bro.
It's a
Like
dope shoe.
Yeah.
I can literally wear it with shorts, pants, joggers, like anything I want
missed
to.
twice
and it
on
works.
those. I wound up getting the gold ones.
Yeah, see,
But
and
I
I
missed
like
twice on the
gold ones,
restocks.
too.
Fire.
But that's my all-time shoe right there. Like those and the Witherspoons. Like if you see me wearing something else, I'm having a weird day. Like that's basically what it is.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Not
but
me.
Man, that's amazing, bro. So, closing it out. What do you guys have any? What would you say to a kid that's trying to get into vintage, into reselling?
into resale, just consistency is
Look
key.
up your knowledge first.
Yeah, like
Do the research.
Don't just buy because it's a good price. Make sure you have a client or a market to hit for it. Because a lot of people mess up is because they get into a market that they can't handle yet. Don't get into something that you don't know you're ready for. Like if you see something, you know something about it, look it up. Google is your best friend.
eBay.
It'll tell you exactly where your market's at. It'll tell you exactly what this is, why it's popular, everything. So like if you don't know, look into that first and then go from there. Because you don't want to drown yourself with something that you can't get out of your hands.
There's just so many people doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like you don't want to, like you said, drown yourself with it because there can be 10 other people in the same state as you that have the same piece. You know what I'm saying? And 5 of those people are willing to sell it less than you are.
And volume matters.
Yeah. So you
It's
just
not
gotta-
all about making more money in a quick span. You want to last it long because if your company can last 5 years, it can last 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
If you're struggling to last 2 years, it's gonna struggle to last 4 years.
Yeah.
You gotta take it in the long run as a long W instead of a quick W.
Yeah.
Patience is
Quick
key.
flip.
That is resale right there.
Yeah, like patience is key. You'll get your value.
Resale 101 right there.
Mm-hmm.
You heard
real.
it first from the Yesterday's Fits boys.
Yes.
Thank you guys for coming on the show.
Appreciate you,
Appreciate
man.
you guys.
Thank you
Appreciate
guys
you
for
Yes,
giving us a place to
4800 South Maryland Boulevard.
to camp
That
out.
Las Vegas.
That is us.
These my brothers. Appreciate
Yeah,
y'all.
man.
Appreciate you, bro.
Peace,
sir.
peace. Yes.
Appreciate
Yes.
you, man.
Yes.
My dog.